Don't understand you girls. In my day, we got married. But what if you never met the right person? Vera asked softly. Well, if you didn't meet Mr. Right, you married Mr. Not So Hot, Mona stated, slamming her hand on the table. Mrs. Vera Not So Hot, Vera mused. That looked terrible on stationery. Well, things are different now, you know, Jolene argued. Women are a lot more independent. Independent, huh? Like my Alice, huh? So, I'm going to be 40 years old. She works from dawn to dusk, tries to raise a kid and earn a living. You call that independent? I call that dumb. Alice emerged from the kitchen, a jar of oregano in hand. She caught the tail end of the sentence. Hi, Ma. Hi, how are you? See, what my daughter needs is a husband, Mona announced to the diner at large. Alice groaned. Oh, I bet my mother has been regaling you with the Colleen McGurney story. Oh, no. She was just telling us that we should all be married, Vera said. Ah, that is the Colleen McGurney story, Alice said, sliding into the booth opposite her mother. Who's Colleen McGurney? Jolene asked. That's the smart girl who married Bull McGurney when he got turned down by Miss Independent over there. Mona pointed a gloved finger at Alice. Bull McGurney is a man my mother met and introduced me to after I was widowed, Alice explained, her voice tight. She met him in the grocery store. Mona corrected. I picked him up in Frozen Foods. That is where you find the bachelors. He's a very nice man. He asked me to marry him and I turned him down. She not only turned him down, she introduced him to another woman, Colleen McGurney, who married Bull McGurney and went on to glory with 2 kids and a little bungalow across the street from the high school, 4 kids, and an enormous ranch house with a full-time living maid. Mona corrected again. Oh, come on, Ma. Give me a break. No high school football coach can afford a full-time living maid. Bull's no longer a high school football coach, Mona revealed with a triumphant smirk. Oh, no. He owns the largest Toyota dealership in South Jersey. No kidding. See, if you had played your cards right, you'd be the one with the new Celica every year. With air conditioning and a sunroof? Just then, the bell above the door jingled. A tall, broad-shouldered man walked in. He had the weary look of a public servant. Hi, everybody. Hi, Earl, Alice said, grateful for the distraction. Happy birthday. Oh, thanks, Earl. You remembered. Thanks, Earl. I want you to meet my mother, Mona Spivak. This is Earl Hicks. Mona's eyes scanned Earl. No ring. Reasonably dressed. Breathing. Hello? Hello? Very nice to meet you, Mona purred. Thank you, ma'am. Earl is a teacher at Tommy's school. He's a football coach, Alice added innocently. Mona's radar pinged loudly. Football coach. Just like Bull McGurney started. Really? Mona leaned forward. Yeah, that's right. Are you married? No, not yet. Earl stammered. Have you ever considered a Toyota dealership? Mona asked intensely. Ma, Alice hissed. Mine? Earl asked, confused. Well, please be seated. I'll be right with you, Alice said, trying to shove Earl toward a stool. Would you please cut out the dating game? You're embarrassing me. Oh, I'm sorry. Sweetheart, I promise. I'll never, never, never do it again. Promise, promise, promise. Mona crossed her heart. What's it going to be, Earl? Alice asked. Alice, I think I'll have a half a Toyota, Earl joked. Greatly. You got it. I'll be right with you, sir. Okay. That's my daughter, Alice. Mona turned to a random customer. Oh, really? You look like sisters. Don't let her fool you. She's a lot younger than she looks, Mona whispered. Alice slammed the order pad down on the counter. Boy, that mother of yours, Alice, all she wants to do is yak, 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 Mel complained. Do we connect their jaws to a generator? I think it could solve the energy crunch, Alice muttered. You're right. A discussion of my sex life alone could light up downtown Phoenix. Not for long, Mel quipped. You said it. Alice leaned against the counter, suddenly deflated. What happened to your birthday spirit? You know, I'm not getting older. I'm getting better. Remember? Yeah, I remember, Alice said softly. I just realized I'm getting older and I'm not getting anywhere. 40 years old, still working as a waitress, still sleeping on a sofa bed. Your mother talks too much, Mel said, surprisingly gentle. Listen, if your own mother can't tell you, who can? Alice quoted bitterly. I don't believe I said that. Alice walked over to serve Earl his coffee. Here you go, Earl. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks, Alice. Alice moved to the next booth, pouring coffee for a stranger. Strength? Well, you must be worn out, Mona said to the stranger, gesturing at Alice. Well, it's not easy being a widow, raising a young son, middle-aged woman, struggling day after day to make ends meet. And for what? Peanuts. Peanuts. Alone and unprotected, as she enters the twilight of her life. Alice froze. The coffee pot trembled in her hand. That is such a sad story, the customer said, tearing up. Who are you talking about? Alice. Of course, Mona said loudly. That poor wretch has the same name as you, the customer said to Alice. My Alice is that poor wretch, Mona clarified. Wait a minute, Alice snapped. The diner went quiet. That doesn't sound anything like Alice. You're right, you know. It doesn't sound anything like me, unless my mother is telling the story. And what is that supposed to mean? Mona stood up, affronted. I was feeling so good about myself until you came to visit, Alice said, her voice shaking with suppressed rage. Well, I'm sorry. I certainly don't want to make you feel bad. Well, maybe I should go back home. Maybe you should, Alice said. Fine. Alice, I guess this means there's no birthday party tonight, Mona said, clutching her purse. Certainly is, Alice said, tears stinging her eyes. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Mona marched out of the diner. The door chime sounded like a funeral toll. Chapter 4. The Survivor. The apartment was quiet that evening. The tension was thicker than Mel's gravy. Mona was packing her suitcase in the bedroom, folding her clothes with aggressive precision. Hi, Grandma, Tommy said, walking in. Well, I'm leaving. Don't worry now. Listen. Alice walked in, throwing her keys on the table. Good evening, Mother. Good evening, daughter. What's going on here? You know Grandma's going home? Tommy asked. I thought she'd be gone by now, Alice said coldly. Grandma, why are you and Mom mad at each other? Oh, don't be silly, sweetheart. We're not mad at each other. Of course not, Mona lied. She held up a shirt. Is this yours or mine? Doesn't look like anything I would buy. Mom, I want to know what's going on, Tommy insisted. Okay, Grandma and I had a fight, and I think it's best that she leave. She refuses to treat me like an adult. Why should she? You're not acting like one, Tommy said. Oh, great. Why don't you go on over to Grandma's side? I'm not going on over to anybody's side, Tommy said, sounding decades older than his years. But if you're angry with someone, you got to talk it out. Adult to adult. It's not gonna do either one of you any good if Grandma goes home like this. Alice looked at her son. He was right. You're right. You know. How'd you get so smart? That's Alice Hyatt's speech number 4. I have extra copies, if you want to brush up on it. Alice smiled sadly. Thanks. I think it's coming back to me. She walked into the bedroom. Mona was angrily packing a hairdryer. Mom, please put down the hairdryer. Oh, no. This is positively mine. I bought it especially for the trip. What a waste of hot air, Alice muttered. Mom, please stop packing. We have to talk. There's nothing much to talk about. When your own daughter says, I felt fine till you came in, I didn't mean that. Well, yes, I did mean it, but that's why we have to talk. I'm very upset with you, Mom. Why, honey? You criticize me so much. Oh, but that's ridiculous. No, it isn't. Today you told my whole life story to a total stranger in the diner. You made me sound like a loser. Yes, and then you tried to get me married off to the first football coach who comes in. Are you ashamed of me? Mona stopped packing.